Hello, this is our Soulgarden podcast episode 26 Energy Report. So, tag team back again. Yes, we are back again. So, let's get into our disclaimers again. If you listen to these back to back, you're going to know these well. First of all, this is not a formal podcast. This is not formal energy report. All right. I'm just out here telling you what the astrologers are saying is going on so that you can benefit from it. Potentially. If you don't feel like you can benefit from it, then by all means, there are so many other options for you. Also, if this shit is just wild for you, you can just keep it moving. You got free will. Do what you need to do. That's don't come on here talking about how you feel is not right. You ain't got to do all that. All you got to do is keep it up moving. Keep on moving. Don't stop now. All right. So this is not for a podcast. If you looking for that, this ain't that. If you're looking to be entertained, you might be entertained, but I don't know. Okay. But it's not for them. All right. We don't own rights to this music. All right, in the background. Again, this is positive energy vibration music. They're on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. They got awesome material. It's not Soulflwr. It's them. All right. It does have binaural beats in the background that you can benefit from. It's good for energetic purposes. If you hear my rabbit in the background, my apologies. They usually on these podcasts too. This for adults only. Adults mean 18 years and over. All right? It's not a roundup. You have to be exactly 18. Or we don't advocate that you listen to this material. We don't reach out to you for services. Don't get scammed. This is the reach out. All right? If people start telling you about how they, how great you are and chosen you are, and if you just give a little money to an orphanage or whoever it is, whatever the game is, it ain't us. We're reaching out to you through the podcast and our platforms that you see on the screen: Facebook, TikTok, TikTok, and Instagram. All right, that's how we looking out for you. All right, YouTube. So yeah, that's the disclaimers. Let's get into the energy report now. By the time you hear this, the sun will be in Scorpio, the sign of transformation and rebirth. All right, really great things can occur for you in the season of Scorpio. There's a lot of opportunities for growth. All right, now some people take opportunities to do some fuck shit on Scorpio season, as it is one of the cuffing season months and season. Season. However, if you're on a personal development path, it's the perfect opportunity every year for you to do some transformation, for you to get a little closer to who you want to become in your life, and to make your world a better place, and hopefully be inspired to make the people around your world a better place as well. Because that's all it takes to change the world, y'all. That's all it takes to change the world. One kind act, one example of empathy after the other at a time. All right, so Suns in Scorpio. Scorpios are great people. I'm married to a Scorpio. My mom's a Scorpio. Um, I have a lot of Scorpio friends. Well, I don't have a lot of friends, but I know a lot of Scorpios, and I'm cool with a lot of I get along with them. They're good people. They're very loyal, very sensitive. They're very good people. Very good people. They're hilarious. Also, however, they're some of the best people. Some of the best people I know are Scorpios, and some of the worst. um, but yeah, Scorpios are very good people. I wanted to look at some of the traits of Scorpio right quick. Y'all don't mind. A lot of people see Scorpios as controlling. Most of their control issues are around being vulnerable and trusting others, and they have valid reasons a lot of times in a lot of cases for their fear of vulnerability, which it goes well with the podcast episode because that is a huge deal for Scorpios. A Scorpio that tell you a secret is a Scorpio that trusts you because they don't trust anyone. I think the sign that gives them a run for their money as far as being mistrusting is Capricorn. Scorpios are loyal, passionate, intense, strong, and independent. This from the Cosmopolitan, by the way. They come off as aloof, secretive, detached, and a bit intimidating sometimes. They have the brooding characteristic, but it's not from a place of malice. Sometimes it can be. We all have our bad days. Scorpios are also charismatic, magnetic, and alluring. They're highly seductive. Uh, Highly seductive. I love them. Yeah, I do. They're ambitious too. Scorpios are hard workers. I think they need to be an honorable mention when it comes to hard work. They can be jealous. I don't think they like to be. If it's, but they can struggle. They can struggle. They are creative. They're deep. They can be dominating. They can be resentful and unforgiving too. But we all can. You know, we all can. They are strategic. They are a mental water sign. They're magnetic. They're very good at reading people. Very good at reading people. So when you're good at reading people, you're not really liked a lot. So there's that on that. Let's see. So the sun is in Scorpio. So all of those traits that I just mentioned will be exemplifying a lot of those traits, or they may be prevalent in our lives, or they might be running in the really prevalent or running in the background somewhere. Let's see. What else? Other transits, Mars is entering Sagittarius October 29th. The Sun, Mars, and Mercury will be in Scorpio by the time you hear this energy report. And I think that's the three major things. Sun in Scorpio, Mars is in the Sagittarius, and the Sun, Mars, and Mercury is in Scorpio. So what this means, what this what they're interpreting this is meaning is the guidance that they recommend, they suggest, is to seek balance by doing inner work and shadow work. That's always going to be the case, y'all. That's just off the bat. Just automatically just infer that into the conversation every time we have an energy report. It's about what you need to work on to become who you want to become. And we do that by practicing inner mastery and shadow mastery. So we seek balance by doing inner work, shadow work for inner mastery, shadow mastery. Oh yeah, Neptune re-enters Pisces. That's another trans. I knew it was for October 22nd to January 26th, January 2026. And that's all about seeking balance by practicing inner work and shadow work. All right, be mindful. It's very important for you to be mindful at this time. Again, the Sun, Mars, and Mercury are in Scorpio. This is about contemplating on what's really true for us, opposed to what we believe. There's a difference between what we believe to be true for us and what we believe to be true. And the distinction is what we want to be true opposed versus what is actually true for us. Okay? So what's actually true for us versus what we want to be true is what we need to distinguish that shit and then make peace with what we want to be true not being damn true. And making peace, then making peace with what is true for us. And building from that foundation. There'll be an uptick in creativity. So if you got any creative projects, you'll have inspiration to do that. There'll be an uptick in a change in perspective. Yeah, should be some huge shifts with that. That's likely. That's very likely. We'll have opportunities to balance our individuality, our intuition, and our emotional needs. So what that can mean is the person that you love or love you will get clear on what the fuck that means for them and what you need to do in order to meet those needs and those requirements. All right, and vice versa. Um, it's also opportunity to make peace with our past and heal from that past by applying the lessons that we learn. If you don't apply the lesson, you ain't learned shit. All right, and you gotta keep applying it consistently. You can't just be for one day. All right, consistency is a thing when it comes to growth, and embrace the unexpected. So that's what those four transits are. That's what they advise for us as far as those transits. Now it's time for the mastery card pool. I already pulled it because we've been doing this shit for a minute. The card that we pulled is Be Yourself Around Others. Goes right with the podcast about vulnerability, because being vulnerable is about being your damn self and giving people the opportunity to see you for who the fuck you are in that moment or not. Okay, because a lot of times, and this has been my damn story. This has been a part of my damn story. You can be vulnerable to motherfuckers and they just trample all over their shit. Or they'll go and tell other people and make them feel a certain type of way about your ass, all kinds of shit. It happens. It can happen. Uh, at the same time, I've been vulnerable to others, and it has grown our relationships significantly. Significantly. I felt led to pull another card, and it is called Express Your Love. It's about being impeccable with your word. I am reading cards from Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements. Toltec Wisdom. It's a 48 card deck. So this one's about being impeccable with your word, which also goes with vulnerability. Express your love. Because that's what vulnerability is about in essence anyway. It's the heart of it. Really. Is expressing your love, expressing your feelings about a certain person, place, or thing. Impeccability of word can be measured by your level of self-love. If you love yourself, you will express that love in your interactions with others. And that action will produce a like reaction. That's why, this goes right along with what the hell we was talking about. Because when we love ourselves, we don't have issues with being vulnerable. And we make peace with what comes out of that vulnerability as well. When you have a foundation of self love, you don't have issues with being vulnerable. You might have fears about it, concerns about it, but you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You have the ability, the capacity, and I think that vulnerability is a timely thing for those of us that are listening to the podcast right now, because right now we're on the transit where we are having new beginnings. So a lot of us, we're going to have opportunities to practice vulnerability. Well, really in old and new relationships, and that's going to be the make or break of whether or not those relationships move forward. So I do wish you well in your endeavors and your journey when it comes to these transits and when it comes to vulnerability, because this shit is not easy. You know, it's easy to just sit here and talk about this shit, but practicing this shit it's a real deal. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. So kudos to you, those of you that are doing this shit every day, and that you mean it. You say what you mean and you mean what you say, and you walk your talk. Kudos to you. My hat to go off to you. You got my respect. And I put respect on your name because uh to love yourself and to be vulnerable, to practice integrity in days like this, it takes courage. It takes a lot of courage. It's so easy to just be a part of the crowd. But to stand out, that's always been the challenge. It's always been the challenge. Because again, we are told what to do. We are not encouraged, at least not in the West, to go out and figure shit out. They want us to do what they want us to do, and they benefit from it. And we just give our energy away. We need this shit. When you get older, you find out you need that shit that you just throwing around when you're young. And if you don't agree with that statement, You just keep on living, as the people that were older, that were before me, told me. You just keep on living, and you have your time to shine with it. In the meantime, thank y'all for listening. We appreciate y'all so much, and we thank you for being here. We always thank you for allowing us to serve you. It is an honor. We don't take it for granted. We consider ourselves very, very, very um, fortunate, very fortunate to be here, connecting with you and encouraging you to keep going and standing with you. And the truth that this shit ain't easy, but it's necessary. And what you'll find out is when you keep doing this work, when you keep surrounding yourself with healthier things, that it gets easier. Practice doesn't make you flawless, but it does make you perfect in the sense that you mature in a thing. And some things you're even allowed to master. However, we're always learning, we're always growing. Uh, yeah, I'm just rambling on about what I'm feeling led to say. I I do thank you for listening though. And I look forward to talking with you again. Until then, keep looking at our platforms. We have plenty of things to come. Again, we will be announcing. Well, by the time you get this, we will have announced what it is. But I'm not gonna say it on this yet. I'm not gonna say it in this yet because already you already know what it is. But thank you for listening to this. I'm just feeling led not to say it right now. Thank you for listening. Again, we send our love, we send our light, and we send unity to you. Always, always, always live free so that you can die well. This is Nicole coming to you with Soulgarden Podcast, episode 26, The Energy Report.